Hello, welcome back. We're doing we're doing a gnome bard in Baldur's Gate 3 because I really love this game and I really haven't had a chance to stream it much. And I figured this might be one of the few chances I get to get some views for it. So yeah. Let's go with noble. And so this is going to be really good. I hope they have custom lineages, because I really want to turn this +2 intelligence into +2 for my charisma, considering that's our spellcasting, focus, or what we use for it. I hate facial hair. That's not facial hair. Whatever. This one. There we go. Let's make it black. Yeah, let's keep it black. Then we're going with Bart. I don't get support cantrips. Considering we're going to be the bard, we won't need minor illusion. Actually, I didn't have a chance to read it thoroughly. You do it once per long rest. Alright. Healing word. Normally I have a druid. I always do 2 characters and have a druid, but I don't think my computer can handle opening up 2 instances right now, so I'm only going to do 1 gnome bard. That's why the gnome's going to be the bard rather than a different race. I can't decide if to get rid of anything. I'll take sleep instead of heroism. I like violin. Bardic inspiration, acceptance, intimidation, performance. Let's see here, what else? Everything seems fine. What we need is a high charisma. So let's lower that. And I can't increase it more, right? This isn't going to be very good for us, but we'll make it work. I'll lower that by 1. Get that. Plus 1 Constitution. Alright, let's go.
Tell me, who do you
I don't really care about this. Sorry. Yeah, it's fine. That's eye color. There. We can skip this. I really hope they have custom lineages. And very inhuman. Having a feat at level 1, I really want to make a build involving low-level feats. I can't do that until after they implement it. Or they give us level 5. Level 5 would be also very good, just because they're level spells.
My head.
Well, I don't care about Fireball, I care about Raise Undead. Yeah. I'm a necromancer. God.
If not over, then through.
This is the pool that thing came from. The parasite now writhing behind your eye.
Let's try. That!
The casing is fragile.
Always.
The slightest
That's
touch
so
could
wasteful.
cause it to crumble.
If we touch that, we'll spill and get caught on fire. Best not to take damage right now. Well, it doesn't really matter, we can just heal these things, but I still don't want to take damage.
Devilkin, am I in the hells?
This is my favorite. Good little pet.
Yeah.
I really hope they make him permanent. It uses the same engine. Well, it uses the Divinity 4 engine, Baldur's Gate, not Baldur's Gate. Larian Studios developed.
Yes.
That's why it looks so
They've
similar.
come to save us from this place.
So the engine it runs off of
From
is
this
derived
place you'll
from
free
the
us.
same engine as the Divinity.
The exposed brain quivers in expectation.
Please. Before they return. They return. The enemy. So many enemies. Remove us from this body. From this case. Free us. Please.
Let's investigate. Ooh, okay, that's not good. Okay, we have two choices here.
Apart from this strange context, you notice nothing
And I
unusual about the
doubt
brain.
strength will work. Yo, we barely made that.
The brain lifts from the skull, but you notice an opportunity. You could cripple the strange creature, making it more subservient, should it prove
Yes,
its
I'm
threat.
talking to the actual brain. I'm not going to mutilate it just because our friend here. Well, you'll see. It's such a tragic thing. It's so sad. It's gonna make me cry.
We are free. Our freedom is ours, friend.
He's the earliest
The creature
companion you can get.
pauses, listening. Something behind
Well, I say
your eyes
companion.
seizes in
Well,
recognition.
he kinda.
We must go to the helm. At the helm, we are needed. To the helm we go. We are going to the helm.
Hold on. Sorry, tapped out. Sorry. There you go. This is what I wanted. Lou. I don't know why they gave this guy a name.
Something good here, I hope.
Hopefully, when the game fully comes out, we'll know why they gave him a name.
Let's see.
So Psychic damage is actually really good for bypassing most resistances, because not all things are resistant to psychic damage. Mind flares, frankly, well, obviously are, because they use psionics, which is basically psychic powers. Where's the let's jump? There we go. Next, we're gonna meet Lae'zel. I don't like any of the female companions we got so far. Lae'zel is arrogant, and Shadowheart's just like, I hate both of them.
Abomination. This
But Therian
is
is an
your
arrogant
end.
prick, but he's cool.
Your head throbs and your skin tingles. Visions rush past. A dragon swing, a silver sword, and a flash of your face seen through the strange woman's eyes.
Oh, my head. What is this? Squaw, you are no thrall. Vlaakith blesses me this day. Together, we might survive. Imps block the path forward. You will assist me in destroying them. We must reach the helm before we transform. Now is no time for istic poetry. We are in Avernus. My kin have chased this gate ship here, and they will destroy it.
Yo. We'll find out what this means later. I don't want to bother asking. Let's go.
First, we exterminate the imps. Then we find the helm and take control of the ship. We will address the matter of a cure for this infection once we reach the material plane.
So, for those of you who don't know much of the lore, I don't know much about this ship's lore. And by that, I don't mean the ship itself. I mean what the, like classification of the ship. But essentially, this ship is what the Mind Flayers had used in the lore of D&D back in the old ages. And what she is, like a Githyanki, is essentially what used to be their slave race, but they rebelled and just annihilated them. Well, not annihilated. They tried to annihilate. That's why they're here. That's why she's here. They're trying to kill all the Mind Flayers. And this ship is like one of their war things. Essentially, it's basically like a lost ark. The design for the ships were apparently disappeared. That's why it was such a surprise when this one pulled up. If I'm remembering correctly, I hope I'm right about this. It's been a long time since I watched a video on it, so I can't be 100% sure.
Death becomes...
Oh, that is garbage. Disadvantage, that's nothing. Oh, this one would have been so much better. 3d6 is ridiculously good. How did I not know about that spell? He's never used this shit. And he's gonna dash. Dashing converts your action into movement. It basically doubles your movement. But you can't do anything that requires an action, like most normal attacks. And actually, I don't. It doesn't matter if I waste it. Okay, looks like I did need to use that. She's gonna be here. A little pet. Come for a visit. And there should be 3. Where's the other one? Oh, I didn't even notice. What? What the shit? Is he glitched into the wall? Okay. This does not bode well for us, but it's fine. Because I can kill him. if I can actually target him. And I cannot. I actually can't target him.
I'm
Whatever.
talking. Dress thy face. The hags are hiring.
Okay, we have to end our turn. Hopefully he moves somewhere. Okay. Okay, fine now. Was he on the other side? I just didn't notice? No, that's probably it. Some attacks have bonus actions rather than actual actions. These are mostly class dependent. Or they're spells that specifically require them. You'll see some more later when as I continue the playthrough. I don't need to do this. I just really want to see how good it is.
You proved surprisingly adequate in battle.
Whenever psychic damage is usually done,
To the helm.
it's represented by bleeding eyes. I kind of hope they have that, but I can't really tell.
What's up?
We're not going to leave till after I loot some of the bodies. These things. These are what's known as barrelmancy weapons. If I can carry them. My last playthrough, for some reason, I couldn't carry any barrels. It wouldn't let me access Lae'zel's inventory at all, or Shadowheart's, only my own. And my character was he was a sorcerer. He wasn't capable of actually lifting the barrels. Period. Can I access her inventory now? I cannot. Is there anything I can do?
Repositioning.
Nope. Yeah, I can't pick it up.
Best be on my way.
So, I wouldn't say patched. Patched isn't the right word. They just disabled inventory until you get out of the tutorial area.
Better.
Which actually makes sense, because I made the mistake my first playthrough, and I dumped all my inventory into, us, the little brain guy.
Look out! No! Careful! Watch the hordes!
Well, here's the thing about the Bard. It's not a lightweight class, and it's really good.
Easy.
In concept. He has the skill Jack of all trades, which gives half proficiency, which basically is like +1 to anything. And he has one of the greatest level up bonuses in the game. Not in the game. Well, in the game, in D&D, but it's inspiration, and it lets you learn spells from other classes. And gives bonuses to your allies. So he's a support class, essentially. And has high charisma. One of the best parts that if we actually get there, I can show you, is his performance. For fairly obvious reasons, when I get to the level 4, I will not be taking performance and making a band. For the very fact that it's a dumb idea, and we don't need a band. We need people who can kick ass. But if anyone wants to see it, I could do it. I can make a save just so I can have a band.
Oh, lend a hand, won't you, love? There's a rat in the kitchen. 10 red rats. And they're flying and they're clawing.
The mind flayers have already enthralled him. Leave him, or we will share his fate.
I feel bad for him.
Pipe down. Away. Murdering stench.
I didn't have to kill him, but I just need as much loot as I can get right now. Wait, back to what I was thinking about the inventory and why they made it so that you can only have your inventory. After you finish the tutorial area, that's it. You only get yourself for at the beginning of the next area. So if you lose a character, or you have some important thing on that character, you're not going to have it. That's what I think of why they did it. I'm not 100% sure though. And we don't have to be, what's the word I'm looking for here? We don't have to worry about much resources right now. So I can just spam as much as I want right now and show off to you guys. Because right now, all of our skills are basically instantly rechargeable. Although there isn't much I can show. The fact that we're just, you know, level 1.
Well, so much for peace.
I can do this though. And I can one-shot it if I'm not wrong. Yeah, if I'm not wrong. I love this. Spellcasters are amazing in any game. I love spellcasters.
Wish I had a bag of holding.
Yeah, the word he just said, the term he just said, bag of holding, is a very good item.
I'm a bit peaked, Mum. I think I'll go to bed early.
Ooh, he was probably enthralled since he was a kid. Or not. Or maybe he's just a weird guy. I used the wrong spell. And he made save.
Out.
Piece of shit.
Deformity. Look here, thou goblin goo gobbler. Listen up, thou bandy-legged pringle.
There we go.
At the ready. Open up.
No, it's not going to be a setback. We don't lose them well, we lose one person. That's all I'm going to say for right now. Because everyone else is, you can get, let's want to try this. This doesn't work, right? Oh no, he just attacked before I had a chance to. Shit. But yes. When I say lose, I don't mean lose as in, they die. Because when they die, you can still get their inventory. When I say lose, I mean they just the characters canonically are separated from each other, and that's it.
Istik, back! Touch nothing without knowing its purpose.
She made them hostile.
Aikido!
Oh. See this thing? This thing is a really good thing. Because it just restored us. This is why the tutorial area is a tutorial area. Because normally, you need to take a long rest. And do I have enough? I do not. Performer. Actually, I'll give them Bardic Inspiration till they go. There we go. And next. What? Why? One hit.
Like it, Kasivim Crashet.
And play so. Ooh, that's a pretty good one. But it won't matter. And it did matter. And I hate him already. If he cast those from a scroll, that would be a waste. You could have gotten this building. If you're hearing someone in the background, don't worry, that's not my house.
Lethal.
Have a lot on my mind and, well, in it.
I really hope those weren't scrolls and we just wasted
I
it.
need to find a way forward.
Alright, quick rundown of these things. Inflicts wounds. Really good spell. Close range, and it does... Oh, hold on, I just want to confirm the amount of damage, because I remember I used to rely on this spell a lot. I don't want to give any false information. Yeah. So, anything ranging from a 3 to a 30. That's how much damage this spell can do. It's actually amazingly good for a level 1 spell. And upcast, it does one more for D10. So that's 4 to 40. It's actually an amazing spell. This right here is our next companion. Another one I don't like.
Get me out of this damn thing! We have no time for stragglers.
Try that contraption next to the pod. They did something to it when they sealed me in. Hurry! Please!
Let's find out.
The console appears dormant. The mechanisms are completely unrecognizable at first. Then you spy an empty socket.
We're not gonna hit the console. We're not killing her yet. We will kill her. Well, I don't want to kill her. I do actually. I do want to kill her, but we can't kill her. We need to clear her.
How many hosts of these gay infected?
No traps, please.
And this is not what I was looking for. Well, it is one of the things I was looking for. But, okay. I was actually looking for how to release Shadowheart from her confinement. But, for everyone who wants to know what Lazel was talking about with the transformation, let's find out. Let's see.
Kinchar! Changed at the pull of a lever. How? If we are not purified, this may be our fate.
I had some thoughts about this too. We'll get to my thoughts later. Because it involves story bits that I would rather a character explain first. Well, it's not really she explains it. You'll see. But right now, we're killing this thing. What? This is one of the better parts about Baldur's Gate. If you sneak up on someone and attack them, it doesn't use up your turn. So you can just attack them again. But it depends on your initiative roll. If you roll low, you can't attack them at all. Until it comes up. And I can't.
No one stopped me yet. Never wanted the easy path.
You're going to open this.
Anything of use?
And you take all of this.
This might unlock those controls next to the pod.
And we can exit on this.
The console appears dormant.
Okay. Sorry.
The console hums to life. But what is its purpose? Will it free the captive? Or transform
Sorry about that.
her like that other unfortunate?
My phone lagged out. It's not the stream ending. Sneak attack is very, very good. There's actually an attack called sneak attack we can get later. But we can't do it. Only if Rogue can get it. That's why Rogues are really good.
The pulsing glow and organic lines of the device make it seem more like a beating heart than a machine. This device is different from the one that caused the other captive to transform. Perhaps it will open the nearby pod. Suddenly, you feel a hideous squirming in your head. The parasite. Then discomfort fades, and another sensation washes over you. Connection. Authority.
This is foreboding. But we're not. They don't have that implemented yet.
You feel the biomechanical brain of the console process your command and yield to it. A shiver runs across your mind. You feel sated.
And now we have a cleric.
At last.
The best part is Lae'zel and Shadowheart are the strongest characters you can have other than your created character so far.
That damn thing was going to be my coffin. Thank you.
Your mind lurches into her thoughts.
So not only are they the best
Gratitude
for
is mixed
Baromancy,
with wariness,
but
because you have
we
a
can't
gift
access their
with you.
inventories right now. So
You
it's
keep
wasted
dangerous company.
to get either one. Well, it's not wasted. I really don't want to save scum this playthrough, so I'm really hoping to get it first try. But I am going to try and get
problem with everyone else.
the fire tongue.
But there's more important matters right now. Survival. Let me come with you. We can get off this ship and watch each other's backs along the way. Shadowheart. One moment.
Here's a thought. If she had to use the cutscene to get it, let's
It's
ask her.
nothing. Trust me.
Enough of this chatter. We need to get to the helm. Now.
She's right. Lead on.
Right. So, they said this in an interview, and I want to just go over it right now. The box that she just picked up is a very crucial item in the game.
Let's see what this
And
does.
it's caused a lot of problems, but you need the box in order to basically do the story. That's essentially what they say. And if Shadowheart dies, because they
When
give it
you're
to
in
us
the
by
helm,
getting
once
Shadowheart.
inside, do as I say.
Who put you in charge?
1 second.
I trust my
Let's hear
own
it.
judgment.
Kenyank.
Right. If Shadowheart dies before she can pick it up from that pod, does that mean that we can't get it? Because it didn't return to her. The way it's programmed is if Shadowheart dies, it comes to us. But it was in the pod. And it didn't go to her till after we did the cutscene. So, would it stay there if we killed her before the cutscene could play out? I'm not sure, but I just wanted to make this note. It's disgusting. I do more research on these shits. I have to Google it. I read a lot about the mind flares. I know I watched Mr. Rex's video about mind flares. Damn, that man knows this shit. Okay, this is not reasonable.
Thrall connects the nerves of the transponder.
Well, considering what we're about to do, kind of is reasonable. Oh
Do
my
it. We will
God.
deal with the gate after we escape.
Connect the nerves. Nerves. We will connect them.
So, what I should have done was double check Shadowheart's spell list. Because Shadowheart has Bless. And Bless is one of the spells that don't fail. And if Bless doesn't fail, then that means that you get a bonus to your attack and your attack rolls. Which is really good, considering the fact that we need Bless to kill this guy to get his sword. I really want to give Bardic Inspiration to the alien over there, but I just don't have the chance to. Also, considering on the bar, let's stand right here. And I will actually... I'm scared. Oh yeah, fine, whatever, I'll stay here. I have a bulb I can use. The bulbs are basically, they pull in enemies around them. That's why they're good. Not here. In a different area, if we get to it, it's really good for an encounter on a boat. Because you throw it at the edge of the boat, then everyone gets pulled off the boat. And she does not have Bless. That's great. She does have this, but it doesn't matter. I don't want to waste that. I'm really trying to save everyone's spells. And they took no damage. An issue with the cantrips is that if they succeed a saving throw, they take no damage, as opposed to normal spells, where it's often if they succeed, they take half damage.
It has it.
There we go. No, Bless is not an insta-kill. Bless is a buff. The demons...
We need to get out of here.
Don't think of the demons as spirits. Think of them as a living creature that lives in a physical, actual hell. Imagine hell as just a normal... not normal environment. As in a real place that actually has living creatures. These are living creatures from there. And they're not like Bless and stuff. How can I put this? They won't kill them by getting blessings. That's not how it works. Because they are living creatures. They're not spirits or anything like that. They can give powers and possess people, but not right now. Well, these aren't those types. These are the types that basically make deals and stuff. They don't have the ability to say
Have to keep going.
kill. No, not kill. To corrupt someone's mind. Yeah, that's more accurate. And also, Bless in the game doesn't do that either. Bless is not that kind of spell. Bless is the spell that just makes you more fortunate. That's basically what it does. Basically, it's a luck bonus. That's all. That's what it is. Also, I can't do that.
Taking position. My faith will protect me.
If this ship hits the ground, we're dead. Open up.
Since I'm here. There you go. Why do I need this? I can't do any of this. Oh, let's just explain what I can do. Okay. This is going to be... not this one. This one's going to be very useful. Then return. If we can actually get him to fail the roll.
Will have your head.
We just need to make sure he stays alive to kill this one. And also this little piece of shit can just die. Yep. I'm getting really good today with my rolls.
Onward.
So let's go. I don't have bless, so that's not good. I really rather not save scum, but I could use the sword. There you go. And if I need, I'll use that save. Anyway, is he hurt? He's hurt.
Take you.
Great, max heal.
Victory awaits.
That sucks.
On the move.
Our priority right now is getting him to die.
Best be on my way.
Actually, no, don't go over there yet. I don't think there's anything good on those guys. Huh. Oh, okay. Okay, that's good. I did not actually expect that to work.
Throw their corpses in the
Ignore the
sticks.
devil. We must take the transponder.
Nah, we're gonna fight the devil. Yeah, you see, right now he's prone, which means you have advantage on attacks. So, okay, I'll tell you. I'll describe him the most accurate way I can. Sorry, my thing froze. Okay. So essentially, you roll a d20, and depending on your d20 roll, you have to overcome something called an armor class. And the armor class is essentially their defense. If you don't make it, they don't take defense. I mean, they don't take damage. But if you do make it, then you have to roll for your attack, which is your attack damage, which is different from your actual initial attack roll. That's why having advantage on attacks is really good, because what you do is, if you roll and then you get at a hit, and then you roll again. No, if you roll, you don't get a hit, and then you roll again, then you take the higher roll. But you could just end up rolling both low. So if you have to make it a 10, you have to beat a 10. A 10 or higher, and you can hit them. So advantage basically means you roll 2 d20s, and as long as one of them is above 10, then you can hit them. Let's see here. I still have Bardic Inspiration.
I've got one. Majesty of Gnome, sovereign of shit.
Or your spine is mine.
Oh, he cured himself. He slapped her. That's fine.
Let's finish this.
Oh, jeez, this man can literally one-shot us. We got lucky. So that was an attack of opportunity. It basically means if you're near somebody and you move away from them, or you move by them, you instantly attack. But there, you can do disengage to make sure that doesn't happen, but it costs an action, so it's not very useful if you're going to go in for an attack. What I should have done was probably use disengage, but I couldn't. And let's go. This isn't good.
Hey you! Threadbare chimp-lacking.
For context, it's just turn.
Let these intruders open! The furnace is ours!
Okay. I just want to show you his stats for 1 second. These are his resistances. You'll notice these are the damage types. The reason why I'm using Psychic so much, or rather I like Psychic as a damage type, is because of this. Because not a lot of creatures have resistance to it. Because, well, it means they have defense on their minds, and most characters logically wouldn't train that unless they have a reason to. That's why they mainly focus on defending from blades and such.
Time to strike.
There's a very good reason for why it's not great to wait to draw this fight. And you will see that reason very soon. Because even if we finish this fight, that reason will come from walking right through the door. How much bardic inspiration can I give? Hold on, does he still have it? He doesn't. I can just keep... How many times have I given him bardic inspiration? I don't know the comparison, so I'm not 100% sure of this.
I'm ready.
He still has guidance. He has resistance instead. Actually, no. I'd rather him have guidance than resistance. Guidance will add a d4, so if he doesn't make the attack roll, which is why he keeps missing, he can have a bonus to that now, to make it easier to hit him. Guidance is basically a weaker bless, while bless adds a d10. Oh, here it is! This is why you don't want to draw out the fight too long. He has friends. And I can't really afford to let any of the characters die, so I'm just going to... actually, no, forget that. I can't reach that, I can reach this. Yeah. I can't afford to actually let any of my characters die yet. Because if they die here, I don't know where I'm supposed to find them again. Because I know she washes up on the shore if you free her. But I don't know where to find Lae'zel if she dies. And... ooh, there we go. That's a nice hit. A critical hit is a perfect 20 on a d20. One of my issues I'm having right now is he needs to be here to pick up the item. Anyone else can go up, but right now she can actually, can't she? If she can make this, I can just send her off. Oh! I started a quick save. And then she can be on her way. Because she's already given guidance and concussion.
before they strike.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing. There's... We'll just end our turn.
Time to strike.
And, considering what's about to happen... Oh my... Why did you it let you do that? That doesn't matter. Oh, he is almost dead. This is a big problem though. I need to be able to grab the item and then get away with it. Well, I don't need to get away. I need to be able to essentially just... Hold on, I don't know what the term weak grip does. Check. Okay. And dazed. Okay. I think we're doing pretty well, just all things considered.
Your spine is mine.
Got to focus.
She can move up.
On the move.
And he's within range. Or I can go for him. I'm gonna go for him. And he made a saving throw.
I am fury. I am death.
She's going to die. She will actually die. This isn't good. This really isn't good. Oh, I really, really wanted the flame tongue. It makes the game so much easier if you have it. Oh.
Fudge bundling, Fustelarian.
And he makes a save. What is with my roll today? I'm doing so well. Is the game doing something? I shouldn't have whatchamacallit, balanced dice on, although I didn't check.
What's the plan?
I need to get there. So I'll just beat him up.
Swift and lethal.
Pay attention. Sick as a globe of onions.
I didn't explain this earlier, but resistance means they take half damage. So it's very powerful. And this man, please, come on. We need you to take more damage. Yes! Oh, it's nothing.
Let's end this.
Okay. Okay, she can make from here.
Swift and lethal.
Another quick save. I just need luck to be on my side. Please. Please, luck.
Listen here. Was your father a flounder?
Okay, now we're starting to take some damage.
Corpses in the sticks.
Please do some damage.
Got to concentrate.
I am begging you.
Intended!
victory awaits.
If I can get another... Oh my god, that's so good. That was actually ridiculously good.
You listening?
If I can make this
Over here.
and get max damage on it, I could actually
Behold,
get sword.
a most noisy cup.
And I got nothing. Okay. I am one shot.
Your spine is mine.
Please.
Darkness, protect me.
Actually.
Prepare to die.
I will ascend.
Oh, he's dead. I feel bad for Lily though. And where's the... I can't use disengage. I screw it.
Have to keep going.
Sorry, Lee, though, if you die again.
Can't give up.
Alright, let's end this.
Have to keep going.
I'll do a quick save here. If I end up regretting my decision, I can just come back for it later. But I think as long as she's alive, she'll show up at the event. Okay.
The Helm's alien transponder. You've made it in time.
And that's the Gith dragon. Because Yankee used dragons. Kinda weird. They're aliens that use dragons. Mind Flayer are also aliens. I'm not even sure if the Gith are aliens. They come from the cosmos. But I'm not sure where they originate. And that's our ship being teleported to another plane of existence. And that's Shadowheart falling, and falling, and hitting the wall. And that's the end of the tutorial area. We're about to enter the real game. And trust me, it is a hoot. Wolfheart FPS is doing a stream too. Evil Gnome and a Drow Bard. That's way better combination. Well, actually no. What were the Drow's ratios? I forgot. I can't remember, but whatever they were, I doubt that they're very bad for the bard. The gnome's one is not great. With the gnome skill set, it should probably be a wizard. Because wizards have Wizards stat they use spells with his intelligence, so a +2 would be amazing. I am curious about his evil gnome, though. It's not that they know how it works, it's that they have a parasite in their brain that essentially is, think of it like a collective mind. That's essentially what they have. And the parasite's connected to that collective. So, it's basically, they don't need to know how to do anything, because it's psychically telling them what to do. This is gonna take a while. The bard is actually pretty good. Wait, did I grab the sword? Oh my god, we went through all that trouble and I can't remember if I did. Zeus, did I pick up the sword? Do you remember if I did? I honestly cannot remember if I picked up the sword. Come on, tell me. I have to know. Shit, no one wants to tell me. That's great. I honestly don't remember if I picked it up. And if I didn't, oh, it's gonna be such a pain later. And if I did, then yay. And if Lae'zel's dead, then that's sad. Because she was the one that's gonna use the sword. Alright, about what happened to Lae'zel, I should probably explain that too. So what happened to her was that, for player characters, when they get knocked down, they have to make rolls. They're called death rolls. And she has 3 bars for her health. 3 bars to stabilize, and 3 bars to basically die. Like a real death, like you would kill an NPC, they'd be dead. But players don't die, they just get downed. So, what essentially happened was that if she fails 3 rolls, she's dead. But if she succeeds, she doesn't get up, but she also also no longer needs to make saving throws, or death rolls. It's called stabilized condition. And anytime you heal them, which you can do by spells or just chucking a potion, it will instantly up them from a down status. So you can just do that and just get them back up. Anytime they regain health points, they're automatically upped. So, you don't need to worry about them dying as long as you can get the healing to them. But if an enemy attacks them, then depending on their health, they could. Well, if one hit is essentially a failed throw, that's automatic. But depending on how much damage they take, it could be more than just 1. So 3 consecutive hits, you're dead. I think if it was double your HP, you just instantly die if your HP is at 0. Yeah. It's kind of ridiculous. That's normal D&D shit, because I get why they have it, it makes sense from a tabletop standpoint, where if your player should die, you don't want them to die. Like, they're gonna be very upset. And resurrection is a very expensive thing in D&D, which we'll get to later. Well, I'll just explain it right now, because we're probably gonna get one of the scrolls we need as soon as we load in. But essentially, death is very costly. I don't mean like magic, I mean like it's expensive. Because Revivify, one of the most basic spells for reviving that you get at level 3, you can't use that without a diamond normally. That's how it's called spellcasting components. In the game, they haven't implemented that. I don't know if they will. If they do, that's a bummer for some spells and some mechanics. But if they don't, then that's pretty good. Aside from the fact that some spells will need it, like Mordenkainen's magic sword. That is a very good. I think it's good. I thought it was cool in concept. I don't remember the exact lining of spells, but the component for the spell is a silver sword, about the size of, I would say, I don't know, 3 or 4 inches tall. And using that sword, you create another sword out of magic, and you basically project it to attack your enemies. That's essentially what it is. And it wouldn't make much sense for you to just go wave your hands and it just appears, based off of, I want to say, lore standpoint. So I imagine some spells they have to. Also, there's one spell I really, really want. As a necromancer, I really want it. It's called Magic Jar. And you need a component for that, because the way it works is, you use a spell, you put your soul into a jar, then you bring that jar near somebody, you take over their body, and then their soul's in the jar. You literally cannot do the spell without a jar. Now, they could make it. The spell creates the item. That's also neat. But I'm not 100% sure or if they're going to do that. With spells like Fireball and stuff, they also have material components. But I couldn't find anywhere in the book. Well, I probably didn't look enough. But apparently, if you have a spellcasting focus, like a wand or something, you don't need components for certain spells. So, hopefully, you won't have to worry about spellcasting components when it comes to your attack spells. Another thing is that, I said it earlier, but custom lineages is going to change how a lot of the game works, because it's basically, you get a bonus to 1 stat point depending on your race. It could be a +1 or +2. By the way, these are mutually exclusive. If you have a +2, you cannot divide that into... Yeah, as far as I remember, you can't divide it into 2. So I don't think you can have a +1 and +1 into 2 individuals. Although I could be wrong about that. But I know for a fact, if you have 2 individual +1s, you can't have 2 +1s to the same stat. You have a +1 and 1 and a +1 to the other one. That's also very good, if you can choose it. If you can't, then that's basic race mechanics. But custom lineages basically says you can take these +1s and put it to any stat you want. Hopefully, they'll let you do that. This loading screen is taking a while. Another thing I'm really excited to try out is you pickpocket. Well, I pickpocket. What I usually do is, there's a druid. When you go into the druid's grove, which we'll get to when we get there, he's a nice guy. He's a dwarf, and he will demolish us. He's a higher level than us. So the way it works is that I would usually level up, get a 2nd level spell, turn Asterion invisible, and then because of how the NPCs are angled up, they can see each other. So I just have him turn invisible because there's no actual like place for him to hide, and then just steal from him, and that's how I get most of my money. I don't think I can do that. I don't think I'll need to do that anymore, because now that I have a bard, I can distract them by performing. And now that I think about it, that's broken! Because I can just perform, and then everyone will come watch me perform. Well, not everybody, but people come watch me perform, and then I can just have a stereo and rob them. Jeez, that's so good. I'm sure they'll probably implement something later where you can't perform in like there's an area underneath Druid's Grove where they took a kid and is basically threatening with a snake, like not a sanctuary, a headquarters. No, not like headquarters. How can I put this? Like their fortress. No, yeah, fortress. No, whatever you want to call it. It's inside a temple. Yeah, yeah, at a temple. And I have to imagine that when they are finished with the game, certain places you can't perform in, like that temple. Otherwise, that'd be too cheesy. Because then everyone will be distracted looking at you. I hope my game didn't crash. Usually this cutscene makes my game crash. My computer isn't the most powerful, so I really hope it's holding up well. It's just taking a while to load, hopefully. Okay, here it is. Yeah, this will be done soon. Okay, that's great. Ugh. Sorry, I am. Okay, here we go. This is us. I'm gonna guess the game didn't time out. It thought it played the cutscene, and that's why we're here. Before I forget, let's just quick save while everything's being loaded in, just to ensure it doesn't crash, and then we have to rewatch this whole thing. By the way, the fact he says he's in One Piece, I hope they have this. It'd be really interesting if they did. Oh, I didn't check my bar I didn't check my bar subclasses. I really hope you get them at level 2. No, that's not what I want. No, that's not what I meant. Shit. I should have checked. I didn't check. I don't know what kind of bard I am. I completely forgot to check. Hopefully I'm Lore Master. Lore Master's decently good if they have level 5. If they're not level 5, it's fine. But essentially, with Lore Master, I can take spells from other classes. So I can get Revivify, which is a revival spell, which would mean that my cleric always gets it. The way clerics work in the game is they get all their spells. The way the wizards work is they pick up spells from leveling up, and they get scrolls that they can just spend money and then just learn the spell from the scroll. Sorcerers and warlocks are essentially, they level up, they get a spell, and that's it. Now when they level up again, they can switch spells, which is very useful, but it's still kind of limited on what they have on hand. They can only switch spells after they after they leveled up. What else? Bards, basically the same thing as sorcerers, except I'm not sure if they switch out spells. I have not double checked that yet. But we'll find out right now how the game mechanically will work with this. there are 2 other classes. Well, not I say classes. There are 2 subclasses that we will get to. I'm not going to pick them for the reason of I don't very much use them, and I prefer if Asterion and Lae'zel were to be just pure martial builds rather than having magic, because I prefer Asterions plus to attacks, and I don't really think Lae'zel will benefit from learning any spells. Actually, no, she may benefit from learning Thunder Wave because she's always at spells, but we'll find out. This saving is taking its time. What else can I say? Right, the box Shadowheart has. I loved watching the interview. It was amazing because the man who had us in charge of the dialogue, apparently, he struggled a lot because the way it worked was that Seth. Oh, was his name Seth? The director of Larian, who's in charge of the development of Baldur's Gate, he was essentially the person that the dialogue writer would come to. And the way it would work is, the dialogue writer had a question, he walks up to him, asks him, every single time. So, for anything, and remember, this is a very open-ended game. You could literally kill her, and the game will just continue like nothing. You can kill all your companions, and the game will continue like nothing happened. For fairly obvious reasons, you shouldn't do that. The game isn't built in with solo player optimization yet. So you can't go in solo and just wipe out an entire army by yourself. Well, you could in theory. If you really wanted to and you got really lucky. We're in. Here we go. And just to hold on 1 second, I just want to make sure I have a save. And there we go. Okay. This is level up icon, and we will be using it. There's no harm in leveling up right now. And I really hope I'm Lore Master. That's not the menu. It should open, but okay. And it's just taking a moment to load in the menu for a Lore Master. 1 second. Here you go. This. Hold on. 1 moment. Let me just make sure it fully loads. Okay. Sorry. Oh, not cutting out. It's taking a lot of time. Alright. This, Jack of all trades, really good. For those of you who don't know, proficiency, I haven't even said what this, but from the word. Basically, you have things you're proficient in, like deception and investigation checks, those kind of things. I can't remember the exact math, but it's essentially your level divided by 4. So once you reach level 20, you essentially have a plus 5 to your proficiency. What this does, it gives you half proficiency. I'm sorry, hold on. This... Actually, I should have done this first. One moment. Sorry. Leave the game. So, essentially, what it does is it gives half proficiency. Now, normally, it wouldn't matter because we're very low level. But, a static 1 to any proficiency check is very good. Because you roll a d20. That's basically a 5% bonus on average. Really? No. I don't know the exact math, but that's how I've always thought about it. You have a plus 5% chance. There are a few things it won't help you with. Like if you roll a 1, you instantly fail. Just like if you roll a 20, you instantly succeed. One moment. I think it should be finished loading in. Sorry, I hope the game didn't crash. Hold on. Okay. Sorry it's taking so long. And I'm not choosing heroism. Hopefully. Here's the thing. What? What is this? No, hold on. I have to go back. I have to check this out. Sorry. Oh, there you go. My hotbar, for some reason, my computer was loaded. Even though it shouldn't have been loaded. What's hard to grasp? The efficiency? Or the mechanics of dice rolls? Can I hold this? I shouldn't have proficiency in these. I do not. Yeah. And I have a violin. Okay, these aren't the things I'm supposed to be looking at, but I just wanna... That's not it. That's not it. Here it is. Okay. So I don't need to... I don't need to, invest in it. So why is it giving me that option? Well, I have it as a racial, so it makes sense. Because even if this lasts until after... it lasts until a long rest. What that means is a long rest is how you end the day. So it lasts one full day. So I can cast it at the beginning and then just not use it. This is very, very good if you want to avoid encounters with animals. But you also need charisma to do that, and animal handling sometimes. It's best to just save that kind of spell. That's why I have it as a race rather than a class spell. Because there are several things that are better than it for our purposes. And Featherfall would be really good. But I need to focus on support. So, wait. Animal friendship. This would be pretty good. It's so hard to choose. Charm Person. Very good spell. Especially for a bard. Here's the thing I don't like about Charm Person in the game. Charm Person is essentially like... they can't attack you. Everyone else they'll attack, which I don't like. Because if you charm a person, I would imagine you should just be able to tell them to do something or tell them not to do something. But for them to just avoid you and attack everyone else, it's not very good as a spellcaster because you were in the back lines already. So this is not the best spell right now. But for social interactions, like if you're going to talk to someone, yes, it's a very good spell. Otherwise, it's not great. This one's also one of my favorite spells. And if I can cast it without using a spell slot, which I'll be able to do later, it's going to come in way more handy. But for those of you who probably do know what I'm talking about, you might think it was a waste, because it is a waste of an invocation. But I'm going to do that because I want to make a whatchamacallit. I want to make the perfect spy. So proficiency checks are basically how good you are at a situation. So if you were to say use a sword, then and you have proficiency, you get bonuses to using that specific type of sword. So say you have a rapier, you have bonuses to a rapier's type of weapon, and a rapier is a finesse weapon. That's a +1, +2, or whatever your proficiency is added to that. So if you were to use the right weapon along with your proficiency, then you get a bonus to whenever you used it. That's basically how proficiency works. If you're proficient in something, you get a bonus to that, depending on your level. It doesn't really depend on your class level or anything like that.
What's in here?
It depends on your actual level. Oh, sorry, it's lagging. Vicious Mockery, I really hope I can get a buff for it. Because psychic damage is so good. If I can get something that increases the amount of damage my spells do, that'd be really good. Even if it is just a cantrip. Fairy Fire is also going to be very good for when we go up against groups of enemies later. Because Fairy Fire is essentially you throw glitter on them. It's from what I've heard. Essentially, use magic glitter to make sure you can hit your opponent, no matter where they are. When I was playing the game, I found an invisible enemy by using Fairy Fire. It's an AoE attack. So it's very good for clearing an area of potential enemies. It also gives you advantage on your attacks on them, which is also very good. No. Sorry if it's lagging. This game takes a lot of power. While we're waiting, I should mention a few things about Shadowheart. Never mind. They're not really relevant. You'll see right now. I was just going to mention her class and her god. This is really important. We don't know why. But doesn't it look like a D20? Look at it! It looks like a D20, right? It clicked. Jeff chainmail.
What are you doing? I'm alive, yes. And speaking of, how are we alive? The Divine tend to keep their interventions close to the chest. Though, I suppose it's not impossible. First things first, we need supplies, shelter, and most of all, a healer. We might have escaped, but we still have these little monsters in our heads. You might want to reconsider calling her a friend. Looks like she ran off without us. No, I don't recognize this place. But anything's an improvement on where we just came from. We need each other, and we both know what's at stake. Can't think of better company.
And that's our first companion. Or it should be. Oh, wait, I used to... Come on! Let me finish this dialogue choice. There we go.
One thing, just before we go. I wanted to thank you again for freeing me.
Right there, Daughter of Darkness request. I'll explain
It would
that.
have been all too easy for you to run right past my pod, but you didn't. I'll remember that. Lead the way.
So her goddess is Sylvanas. Actually, you can see the name right now. I think you can just open them. Oh no, I should save first.
Let's get on with it.
Okay, good. Holy crap, I've never seen this color before. Shit. This is very good. We'll talk about this later. But this... I've never seen this color for an item. It's either got... It has to be either... Shit. Because there are only a few things it could be. It could either be a legendary or an actual artifact. Legendary items are one tier below artifact items. And the reason why artifact items are the highest tier is because literal gods either made them, empowered them, or they have really, really insane and ridiculous effects. Because this is story-bound, I'm not sure how it's going to go, and I really hope that we get some actual useful artifacts in the game, or legendary items. There is one legendary item in this first act we can get. We're not going to get it. Well, no, we will get it. It seems like a good idea to get it. But essentially, it's called the Staff of Ice, if I remember correctly, or Staff of Frost. The reason why I'd rather not get it is because before this patch, I don't know how it is now. It's bad. It's actually bad because it's a D4 to any frost damage, and frost damage isn't very good. And well, I think frost damage isn't good. Frost damage right now isn't the best damage type, and there aren't a lot of spells that you can use that have frost damage. So essentially, if you attack someone using frost damage, then they get a D4 to that attack, which is useful. But a better way to use it is giving it to our Warlock and then casting Armor of Agathis, which gives anyone who attacks it they will take damage of I forget how much damage, but they take frost damage from it. It doesn't scale with that, and it doesn't give you much bonuses to your attacks either. Because for a legendary item, it should give you... I'm not sure the exact scaling of legendary items in terms of how much damage they deal or how much power they add to your spells or whatnot. But that's, as far as I know, the only effect. and it's not a very good one. And now the saving's done. There are some with artifacts with ridiculous effects, and I don't think they're going to add them into the game because it's like this one. It's a lore artifact. It's only for like the flavor of a character or the flavor of the world, and if they have them, I'll give you an example right now. There's a cane, and if you fail one of the rolls for it, you open a portal that will last 66 years or 50 years that will summon a demon every 10 seconds. That is what we're talking about in terms of what artifacts can do. Now, one of the best legendary items would be the Luck Blade, which is a +1 weapon with the ability to cast a spell called Wish. That is a very good weapon in general, just period. Because Wish is the most powerful spell in the game. And what it does is everything. You literally can make any demand from your DM or the game master or basically think of it kind of like just saying something you want and then getting it. That's what Wish does. There is a penalty to do this, as opposed to, say, if you were to speak, if you were to use other effects of it, because there is a penalty to just making an actual wish and then using the wish spell in other ways. Wish can either be used as other spells, which essentially means hold on. Which can essentially be used as, say, to create items, or to just mimic any spell below 9th tier, 9th level, which is very good because you have and you don't need material components, which is also one of the best aspects of it. Because what you would essentially, one of the game-breaking moves of Wish, of D&D in general, is called Simulacrum plus Wish. What you do is, you cast Wish on yourself, creating a Simulacrum, and then, what a Simulacrum is, just a copy of yourself, just to be clear. So you have a copy of yourself, after you use the spell, so you don't have the 9th tier spell slot anymore. But what's important is, the Simulacrum can use Simulacrum the spell if you yourself know it. So what you would do is, you take a rest, then you use the materials, because you need the materials for the spell if you're going to use the actual spell rather than you bypass it with Wish. And what essentially would happen is that you would make a copy of yourself with Wish, and then repeatedly use Wish on yourself to create Simulacrum through the Simulacrums. That's essentially why it's so broken. Because you're going to have an army of yourself, and they don't have all Wish, because only the most recent one will have Wish. But you yourself will have Wish, and the best aspect of it is you can bypass the rule that says, if you use Wish for anything other than the described methods like copying another spell, then you have a 1 in, like, I forget. If you fail like a D10 or a D4, no, it's with a 33% chance. You have a 33% chance to just never be able to cast Wish again. That's one of the aspects that people often steer clear from it for. But you can bypass that simply by having Simulacrum to it, because you yourself aren't casting it. It essentially will just allow you to cast Wish as many times as you want. Sorry about the lag. Yes. it's literally a never-ending clone army because you can do it endlessly because you copy yourself with wish. You're not copying the clone is not copying itself because the way it copies it, it'll lose the new clone won't have this wish spell. So it's a post spell copy. So you'll be able to cast it infinitely if you copy someone who already has the spell. Who already has the slot. So if you copy someone with a 9th tier spell slot, the copy will have it. And you just repeat this endlessly. But there is a diminishing return if you repeatedly clone a clone. Because you only get 70% of their health. So it's better to clone yourself repeatedly rather than a simulacrum. Over and over. Like, repeatedly go down on the chain of simulacrum clones. Another interesting thing I want them to add, well, they're gonna add it because they said they're gonna make it to level 10, and then they changed it to say, oh, they need to raise the level cap. But one thing I really can't wait for is the glyph of warding. Was it glyph warding? It was. I think it was glyph of warding. Glyph of warding is essentially you make a rune, and then you attach a spell to it and a condition. So you can just be like, you put a spell on this item, and if someone uses it against you, fireball explodes on them, or something. That's essentially how it will work mechanically in D&D, but in Baldur's Gate, I'm not sure how it will work. It'll probably be something like, if a character or if something were to attack you, something happens. It's really interesting. I can't open it. Oh, there we go.
Fresh water. There must be a settlement nearby.
Okay, I think everything's finished loading in. There we go. Now we can actually play. What the hell's going on? Yeah. Oh, that's one of the parts I hate about the opening section. You get to meet your little brain friend, and he's nice and cute and cuddly. And then they don't acknowledge him ever again. It's a real shame. One of the things I love about... He's called an intellect devourer. And one of the things intellect devourers do is an intellect devourer renders someone, basically, they turn their intelligence score into either a 4 or a 1, I don't remember, but it's basically lower than a beast. And then after that, it can choose to devour their intellect by way of devouring their brain, copying all their knowledge, and then replacing their brain with itself. So you would never know because it would have all the knowledge that it would have of that person and just be in its brain, and you can't come back. You can't come back from that. Anything short of a resurrection or a wish spell is the only thing that can bring you back. But yeah. It couldn't do that. I'm gonna guess because it was literally just a newborn.
Put up a fight by the looks
But
of it.
I really hope they
Not that
implement
it
this
mattered in the end.
because I want to do that, and that would be ridiculously awesome to try. And the fact that if you like, here's the thing that would make it balanced if they do let you do this. You could just be like, you have to get a body as soon as possible because everyone is hostile towards this creature.
Wouldn't wish that.
So either you can take over someone, or kill a companion, have him take over that body, and then when you get to a city or a settlement or some shit, just do the same thing but in private. So like, that would be so awesome if you could do that. But the issue is, you need to make it. They get a saving throw, so you might want to beat them up or bane them because basically anything you can do to get them to lose that saving throw would be great. And then lower their intelligence, and then just devour their brain. Yeah, you're dead. If they do that, you're dead. Sorry. It's still lagging. There's a lot to render in these parts. Actually, let me just go into my settings. I haven't checked my settings since I loaded up the game. That's probably why. Oh, here, you can see my items. So, this one right here is a void bulb. It'll create like a pulling force wherever you throw it. Very good if you want to push enemies off a ledge or something. Scroll of Revivify. This is going to be the reason why basically we don't die. And later on, if we get the chance... Actually, you know what? Did I get it wrong? No. I'll double check if I'm wrong about the void bulb later. What was I saying? Right, about Revivify. Revivify is basically the spell scroll we'll be using most in the game. It's essentially our only way to bring back characters if they die, but an interesting thing that we'll discover later is they do have True Resurrection scrolls. And True Resurrection is a spell that essentially lets you bring a character back from literal dust as long as you know their name. It's pretty impressive. And hopefully this doesn't crash my game. It's taking a moment. Shit, I didn't save for a while. Oh, I'm gonna have to do all those over again if my game crashes. It didn't crash. Yo. There are a few more things worth noting about Resurrections. There are no penalties, which is a huge plus. What else is there? There are no penalties to resurrecting, and you can't use them on NPCs, which sucks. Which really, really sucks, because if you want to use those big brain plays where you betray someone and then think, oh, I have a resurrection throw, I can just res them, you can't do that. Which is a real tragedy. I think my game crashed. Although I'm not 100% sure. I'm gonna give it a second. If it crashes, we can call it a night. But, yeah. Resurrection scrolls are actually very useful. A few more things that I want to make note of because of the new patch. I haven't tried it yet, But apparently, gnomes are light enough for you to chuck them. So you can just throw them at your enemies. So my guy, my bard, can be chucked at people. You can't do the ready action though. In D&D, the ready action is essentially, you can say, I will attack when an enemy is within range. And then what people will do is they take a small character that has this ready action, they chuck them, and then instantly within range because you chucked them, and they attack. You can't do that. You can chuck your ally or anything, but you can't ready an action to do anything specific. So if you were to say have a spellcaster with a reaction-based spells, you can't really use, well, they don't have a lot of those yet, but they have a spell called Counterspell that essentially it makes it so that you can cancel out any spell casting that your opponent does. You can't do, they don't have the right mechanics built into the game yet so that to effectively use it. I am going to have to shut down the game, unfortunately. Before I go, I just wanted to finish up what I was saying just now. Let's close it. So, the way the ready action would work, and the way that the counterspell and reaction would work, is essentially you make the condition, and then you cast a spell based off the condition. That's usually how it's supposed to